Hi everybody. The future has arrived. This is such space age technology, my new purchase. It's a Microsoft Surface laptop slash tablet, I'm not sure what they call it, all in one, because it has a keyboard but it's detachable and then you can use a touchscreen. It's amazing. It's like Star Trek stuff, you know, the little pads that they carried around, and the technology to you know, all the computing power in this little thing. It's the same thing as my desktop, that big clunky thing that I used to have did, and my laptop amazingly does, and this is even smaller. Let's log in here. I'm going to hide my PIN from you because I use it for things other than this. And there we go. So it works just like a laptop if you want it to. It doesn't read CDs. It doesn't do. There's a couple of programs I can't get on here, but it will connect wirelessly to my printer. It's got a USB port here if I want to use a mouse or any other USB connection, a flash drive, or plug in a camera or anything else. Of course, it does have a built-in camera up here. So let's see here. Let's take off the keyboard. Asks me if I want to go to tablet mode. Yes. So we'll put that out of the way for the moment. And you have to buy the special pen for this cool software to work. But wait till you see it. It's called StaffPad. Here we go. And it's a music notation software, which I have a music notation software on my laptop, but this one lets you write directly on the screen instead of having to press buttons and do this kind of business, or use the mouse to click and drag every note. This is much easier. I've been kind of inspired to write again. Many years ago, my senior year in high school, I wrote a little piece for my high school band to play, and it was pretty simple, but you know, it was pretty cool for someone who didn't have a whole lot of musical training at the time. I still don't have a ton of musical training, but I'm older and wiser and have a little bit of knowledge of what I'd like to hear a piece sound like, and hopefully maybe the long way get to putting that on paper. So this, first of all, I'll show you how this works. It's amazing. Let's open a new file. It'll ask me what instruments I wanted, and we'll put let's see, keyboard, piano, add. These will be the instruments on the score, and there's blank sheet music waiting for me to add notes. So this is going to be tricky for me to show you, but I will try. You can make this bigger or smaller. It of course works a little bit better if it's bigger. So I'll just put note, 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 and it turns it into music. It recognizes it. You can add to what you've done so far to make a chord. You can move notes around. If they're the wrong note, you can tie them. And the nice thing is you can cut and paste, so you don't have to do this over and over and over. So let's copy undo. Highlight that and copy it, and I'll paste it again over here. Now we have two measures of the same thing. Some things it recognizes better than others, but you can teach it. Like for instance, it wants to use this little S for a quarter rest. I've taught it that I like to make mine like this, and it recognizes it as well. You can use the back side of the pencil or the pen as an eraser, and you can make notes. Like let's say this is a C 7th chord, or I want to put redo this part. I can make a little notation on there that'll appear on there, and then I can erase it when I'm done. So that's the basic input. It took a little learning. And it had to learn from me, and I had to learn from it. So I've been thinking about doing another composition for wind ensemble, inspired by the hurricane that recently hit Texas. We were actually supposed to have our band convention, annual band convention in Houston this weekend. Of course, they're not able to host the convention with the flood. It's very sad. They've worked for a couple of years planning this, and now at the last minute, Harvey blows in. So, and you know, that's not the saddest thing to happen. People are without homes. People have lost their lives. So I was inspired by that to do something with maybe starting with the Texas state song, and maybe going into some sounds of the storm and the fury and then the calm afterwards, and then revisiting the state song, reworked a little bit, because it's changed like Texas has changed, Eastern Texas has changed. So anyway, it's a thought. Right now I've done some sketches of little, what we would call music cues in film. If there was, a scene that needed a certain kind of music, it'd be music cue number 23. Darth Vader enters the spaceship or something, and then John Williams would write so many measures for that cue. So I've written little cues, and I'm using this motif, this little pattern, bum 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 bum, because this is the state song. So that bum 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 comes up over and over. Try to use it. Try to be creative. Right now, what I don't like about it is that it's all kind of in the same key, and it doesn't shift as around and do interesting things as much as I'd like it to do. But it's a start. The way I do it, like I said, not having gone to school for this, is kind of I play with it. I put things in. I give the parts to different instruments, and then I erase things and move them over here, move them over there, and so it's fun. Let's see here. So I'm gonna, because this camera won't pick up the sound as well as I'd like it to, I'm gonna use this external speaker that I have, and hopefully that'll work. So you can hear it. If you've never read a score before, each line is a different instrument, and then each measure is time going by. And let's see if we can get a little bit of, first of all, the state song. I'm going to adjust the camera here. All right, so this is just the basic state song of Texas. So not very creative, but it's a start. This next theme that you're going to hear, this little cue, is, I call it the threat. This is as there's a threat of an incoming storm. And something else similar. So kind of panic, and it's not well developed. And you can hear it's all in the same chord. So these are sections I would have to develop and do kind of something with. And this next section is more put together. This is the actual hurricane, and I'm so impressed with the playback. I hope it comes through on the video. It's very lifelike. I just went back to my other program, and it's nowhere near this good. So you can not only can you just hear the notes that you're playing, but you can hear the sounds of the instruments and how they blend together. There's even a way to click this, and then you can adjust the width of these blue lines for the loudness of each instrument. You can put forte, mezzo piano, and all those other markings, but you can also adjust this so the playback is more lifelike. It takes a little more time. So here is a little preview of the hurricane. This is kind of the eye of the storm. And now the floodwaters are coming and rising. And then the calm after the storm here. Now revisit the theme, but all the chords are different. It's supposed to be more sad and melancholy. So that's it. That's what I have for now. Playing with my new toy up all night. So I'll let you know if this comes to anything or if it's just something I was playing with that never really got off the ground. Keep in touch and see you next time.